Yo, 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 it's your boy, Fat Zoid, coming in hot like the Goblin King he is. Alright, we got a spicy one for you. And this one is, we're doing Earth Machines. We're doing, we're playing the Infinity tracks with our Machinas or Machinas, whatever you want to call it. I think Machina is probably the right pronunciation there. But yeah. The deck's cool. You typically want to be going first with this type of list because this type of list we're running Rival and Gozen. And you might be saying, well, Fatzoid, Gozen interrupts you because you have some darks too. A lot of the deck's Earth. So it doesn't interrupt me as much as it will interrupt the opponent. That's important. Also, like, when you're using these anyway, you're usually looking to see what your opponent plays. If they're playing Sword Soul, obviously Gozen's going to be way better than Rival. Rival really does nothing against Sword Soul, so sort of that. The only thing Rival actually does against Sword Soul is it prevents him from going into Baron, because Baron's a warrior and they're all worms. So that's the only thing I would say. But other than that, there's a lot of decks out there that these traps will just win you the game. And if you can't win the game from that, you have your other game plan, which is destroy them with our boss monster, which is Rune Force. Or going into these massive XZ monsters that can punish your opponent for playing the game. We're also playing Therion Regulus, which is, you guys might be saying, oh, that seems good. It is good. It's really good in this deck because going into River Stormer allows you to search for Regulus. You can actually just tutor out of the deck, which is pretty neat. All right. So that's kind of what it is. We'll do a pros and cons and all the rating stuff at the recap and how the deck did. But let's get into some games and let's see what's rocking out. Hello, everybody. We're here with game number 1, and my hand is looking scrumptious. We're going to get that drill. We're going to summon that drill. Honestly, we could have went for the Machina deployment here, but I think this is better to do now. I think going for Brutal Dozer is a better play, because I want to set up a negate. So, and Unispear is going to set up the Citadel as well. So this is like, this is how I'm going to explain the board. The board's, like, I know it traditionally doesn't look like it's a good board, because, like, anyone who's just not used to playing this type of deck, they're just going to look at it and be like, oh, that's kind of like a shit end board, right? And you might be right. But you're going to see what I'm talking about soon enough. Brutal Dozer comes out. Boom, boom. You go into Slicer. Slicer probably didn't need to go into. I just wanted to go into it because if this gets destroyed... so this is why I think this board's actually... It's actually better than what it looks. Because we have a negate. We have a card that your opponent has to deal with. And if he destroys any of the Earth monsters, Earth Machine monsters, we can bring back Machine Citadel and then blow up his entire board because it's a quick effect. So that's why I'm saying the fields are way deceptively more annoying than you actually think. Now, if your opponent has Called by the Grave, it does get a little rough. But if he has like 2 spells, like say Lightning Storm, Called by the Grave, it gets a little tough. But other than that, it's pretty decent board. We're gonna max see his opening because he smells. But he's playing Labyrinth, so it's kind of a waste of a card, but... typically, if you're playing against Labyrinth, you want to save it versus when they actually use Welcome and stuff. But the reason why we use it in the beginning is because I don't want to get Kaiju'd, and then I don't get a draw from it. So he's going to bounce my card, activates. So what I think he wanted to do, he wanted to activate Welcome, right? But the thing is, he can't activate Welcome while Therion's on the board. Because if he chained Welcome to that, I can just negate Welcome, and the pop it tributes itself for cost. So we're gonna actually Ash Blossom the Welcome. Very good top deck on my end. And then he's gonna Compulse again. It is what it is. And then he's gonna Trap Trick. Honestly, he's so afraid of this Therion, it's not even funny. And you might be saying, why doesn't he activate Ice Dragon Prism to my Therion summon? Well, the thing is, when you actually activate Therion's effect, It's some even if the card gets removed, like he called by the grave as a card I'm picking, Therion still gets summoned. It's just the card doesn't attach. Honestly though, I think it might have been smarter though. No, he didn't really matter here. He got rid of, he kind of like went all like too much into it though, in my opinion. So here comes Regulus. He can't activate traps for the rest of the turn. So we're gonna try and look for a kill here. This tributes, adds. It's a really nice thing. This is why I'm saying like getting these XZ cards in the graveyard is like super. It's actually really nice because all you have to do is tribute these little stupid link monsters, and you get more material. He just quit because he knew I was just going to kill him. Hello, everybody. We're here for game number 2. I do want to say, guys, my tooth is feeling great now, so it feels actually pretty good to talk. I do have to get some extractions done because my wisdom teeth apparently are impacted. So I'm looking for a dental surgeon to do that because apparently you need a specialist for that crap. She was going to remove the tooth that's affected right now, too, but... This is really annoying. That's tilting. You know how much that happens to me? Like, I'll set these, and then they always have an answer for them. Dude, he's playing Mathmax. Mathmax? Gozen would have hosed him. Gozen would have been actually insanely good against him. Cause look, they have an Earth, Light. Actually, it wouldn't have been that much. There's a Dark, Nabla. It wouldn't have been that crazy. I still think it would have been pretty nuts. Okay. Here's Link Disciple. Can he not summon another Mathmech? Oh man, I think it's because his effect's negated. So he's gonna go into IP too, right? So this is like the weird play here, because I'm an idiot and I placed Riverstorm in defense, so now it dies to something stupid. But Citadel comes back. But the thing is, I actually can't activate Citadel because his cards are all protected. Like, Wicked protects his whole hand. So this is where I actually make a massive misplay. So the misplay is, for some reason I thought he wasn't going to use all his monsters. My dumbass mind was thinking, oh yeah, he's just going Appaloosa, or he's gonna go into Crusadia Knight, mech or whatever, doing this. And yeah, what I should have done was activate Urgent Schedule when he activates this. So now he's gonna go into Appaloosa. I could have had 2 extra monsters on board, an extra level 10. So it's kind of annoying. But we're going to activate Bullet Train. We're going to go into Gustav Max, or the Penis Rocket, whatever you guys want to call it. And then we're going to go into second Penis Rocket. I would call it the girthier one. And he's going to... This is also another dumb play. It's not that dumb of a play. Because if you look what I end up sending, I send the Bullet Train... Because I want the Bullet Train to go to the graveyard. I want Bullet Train and Machina Citadel to be in the graveyard. So it's not like the worst. It is still kind of dumb. Because I really don't get any extra damage off. If anything, I actually lose some damage here. And I lose out on Negate. But we're going to be going into Zeus anyway, so I don't know. I didn't feel like it really mattered that much. But when I look back on it, I'm like, oh, this probably wasn't the greatest play. Because look what ends up happening, too. Because, like, Bullet Train's effect, when it gets sent to the graveyard, you can actually add another Earth Machine from the graveyard to my hand, so I can cycle my Therion. So that was, like, another thought in my head. So here he's actually does a very dumb move. The reason why he does a very dumb move is he's probably just better off going into diameter into this, and then he could have gone into a negate, right? Have a negate up. Because the reason why it's dumb is because when he uses Sigma, I know for a fact if this guy has a fucking circle in his hand, right? He's not going to be able to combo anymore. Because the reason why Sigma is so good is when you go into circle, Sigma comes out, and then circle lets you grab another card from your deck to your hand. So now that he has no more Sigma, he can't do the effect anymore. So, and he has the mining, so he had everything. He had the right cards. But now look, he goes into circle, boom, can't do anything. Now the game's just pretty much over. And I top deck Therion, so my play in hindsight was horrible because Therion was on top of my deck. But you can't play off of hindsight. But like, look how disgusting this is now. Like, he's just like super dead. Like, we could go into like way more shit too. Like we have enough cards. We could have gone into Rune Force too. Like we had 8,000 damage if we needed it. GG! Hello everybody, we're here with game number 3, and we are playing against Fight for a Patchwork. It's obviously branded. If you guys didn't know that, it's branded obviously. So he's gonna use polymerization. He actually does something that surprises me. He goes into Lebellion, which tells me he does not have branded fusion, because like otherwise you just use this to go into branded fusion. So the thing is, if he had branded fusion, I have Ash Blossom, so like either way I was good. But this is definitely not ideal. Like, this is ideally what you don't want to be doing. Then like one card face down, like my hand's pretty fucking juiced. Here comes the cross out. This means I cannot activate this Ash for the entire turn, but we're gonna look to kill him. My hand's good enough where I know I can OTK him without much pushback because I have Therion. So literally Therion's entire job is going to be protecting me. Yeah, so he calls by the grave here. So this is what I'm trying to say. Some people think that like this is actually going to stop Therion. It does not stop his special summon. Like, yes, you remove the Machina, which is annoying. But we go into Regulus. Boom. And now we have a negate. So now he knows I can't be stopped. I negate his fucking pop. And we should be able to OTK him pretty easily. And you might be saying, how? You only got one, you got Machine Gear Frame in hand. Well, that's all you need. Because you go into Unispear, Uniclaspear. That sends Runeforce. We go into Gigantic. That sends another shit to the graveyard. Add Harvester. And then we're going to fuse these, go into Platinum. Let's special summon the Harvester. I'm telling you, you do a lot here. There's that. And then boom. There's another one. And that's way more than 8,000 damage. Hitting 8,000 damage seems very easy when one of your monsters is 4,600. Good game. Easy peasy. This is game number 4 against Ugly Man. Ugly guy? No. Ugigaki guy. I don't know. That's probably means something, but who gives a shit? We grab our shit. Unispear activates. He activates. This actually fucks me over. This pretty much. What this does, the droll, is like prevent me from doing anything else. So we send Machina. Honestly, I have Citadel in the graveyard, but the only sad part is that my Uniclaspear, it doesn't actually activate it because it's not an Earth, because it's dark. So he's going for Pot of E. I don't know what he's playing, but I'm just going to Ash it because don't want him drawing 2 cards. Kind of annoying. And then I see this fucker is playing Floateries, which is annoying. First of all, I grab Robin, but he naturally has the field spell in hand, obviously. Why wouldn't you? So he ends up getting Robin anyway. And for anyone who said you should have grabbed Eaglin, it would have been the same fucking thing. This is the most confusing play I've ever seen. So he droplets, right? Doesn't send Eaglin, because he probably realizes is if Eaglin goes to the graveyard, he won't have the material to tribute summon, right? But then he goes for Book of Moon. So why did you even use Droplet? You should have just used Book of Moon to begin with. I feel like I literally don't know what's going through his mind with this Droplet. And then he adds Rabina. Okay. He still has a normal summon even after all this too. So he's going to be able to go into Rabina. Rabina will grab Strix because Strix is really strong against my deck. So that was good on him. That was just a really dumb play. I hope you guys are ready to know that on Tuesday, which is the day, pretty much the day before this video comes out, I'm going to be playing that Harry Potter game, dude. Leviosa, mother... Ooh, shit. I'm going to be Slytherin. Like... Alright, so we're going to go Ancient Gear Ballista, which is actually not even a good play because it doesn't... I can't do anything with it. But I want you guys to see how bad this guy fucked up, by the way. I kind of skimmed over it because I was making a Harry Potter thing because I'm a loser. But he tributes Rabina and the face down Eaglin, which goes to the graveyard, right? And since Rabina was already used, they already used his effect to come back to his hand, he had no card to come back to his hand, so he can't even activate his trap. So this guy, I just wanted to show this because he's a complete idiot. He should have won this game. There's no reason why he should not have won this game. But anytime you play against floateries and you're able to like ram them in the ass like this, you gotta show it. You gotta show it to everyone. All right, guys, this is game number 5. We're playing against Han Solo. I am gonna say I was playing speedrun. I'm gonna say so the Harry Potter game. I normally when I take the quiz, when I take that Harry Potter quiz, I get between 2 houses. I usually get between Slytherin and Ravenclaw, right? And I think I get between those 2 houses because I like to win, but I also like strategy and learning and stuff like that. Like I do a lot of like stuff in my off time where I partake in that. So it kind of makes sense. I kind of was leaning towards, I kind of wanted to do Ravenclaw for a bit, but then I read online that Ravenclaw has the shortest story mode, which is really annoying. So now I'm gonna do Slytherin. I heard Gryffindor has the longest storyline, so I'm pretty hyped for it. But he's gonna be doing a bunch of speedrun shit. He goes into Auroradon. Auroradon's kind of a sick idea. I was like thinking about maybe trying to make like a Machina like synchro deck where we play Auroradon stuff. An idea. Because Machina and these archetypes like work really well to each other. The Infinity Track cards, they kind of butt fuck you into an archetype because like it locks you into Earth, like some of their effects. Like Brutal Dozer locks you into Earth. Does this lock into Earth too? No, this doesn't. Maybe just Brutal Dozer. Uniclass Spear comes out, activates effect. It's gonna get Crystal Winged. You know what's actually really annoying is you're gonna see this turn. This turn's gonna be actually pretty sick, but I could have won this turn, but I'm a fucking idiot, and you're gonna see exactly why. So we play the Heavy Freight Train, summon Infinity Brutal Dozer, we activate the thing, and he activates that to increase my levels, thinking it's gonna mess me over. So like, dude, you gave me a level 10, now you just die. So I deal 2k to him, and then we go into Lieb. Lieb is going to be able to attack 3 times because I attach heavy forward to it. So this is why I'm stupid. If I wasn't dumb, right? Hold on. Yeah. Okay, so this is exactly. So if I wasn't dumb, instead of going into Ballista, right? I could have actually just gone into Quip Hort Genius, right? And what this card would have done is I could negate the effects of 1 card on my field and 1 card on his field for the turn. But now, since I don't have this card negated, I'm not going to be able to attack into it. So that is, see, I could have had this card negated or something. So I actually like kind of screwed myself over here. See, I could have done 39 there, and I would have hit this card for another 3k, and we would have won the game. But now we kind of have to play this long game. I go into this. I literally don't even know what's happening right now. I'm like that Mr. Krabs meme, where you see his head spinning. And I'm like, oh, it's kind of like what's happening this game. And then I summon Machina Fortress, because if this card dies, I kind of want to just made me protection, because he does have Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. He can do a fuck ton of damage there, and then he goes into clear. This actually does a lot of. This is a lot of damage here. I feel like there could have been a play here. I feel like there definitely could have been a play where he attacks me. No, he attacks my monster with this. This guy can attack until if this attack during this attack. The current attack. I feel like you can gain the attack and then you minus it to 0. Maybe it doesn't work like that. Oh, he's dead, by the way. There's no doubt about it in my mind. Because now we can go into Unisclare. This card gets special summon. This card sends Rune Force to the graveyard. And then Rune Force is just going to do an absolutely vile amount of damage here. Beautiful. I can wallop him. He's dead. GG. Goodbye, Han. I'm like Kylo Ren, dude. I stab him in the chest. Hello, everybody. We're here with the last and final game before the recap against Fayu. Fayu. Feio. Yo, that's actually like a word in Portuguese. It's called feio. Yeah, tu és muito feio. There's, which means ugly. It's not spelled like this, obviously, but he ashes me. I cry. I activate Regulus. He maxes me. I cry. And we get a new subscriber, King Ivy. You're in the YouTube video because I'm not recording this over. So happy Christmas, King Ivy. And then we get impermed. Woohoo! I have the alert box turned off right now, and I have no idea why that popped up. And yeah, don't you like that though? You get impermed, Ash and Maxine, and then I flip up Gozen Max and you're screwed. Theoretically, I have a very high chance of winning. But then he has another Ash. So this second, Ash actually butt-fucked the living shit out of me. No cap. Now I'm thinking about it, I perhaps should have used Therion on the Ash. I maybe should have used Therion on the Ash, and then I could have used the heavy forward to grab... I could have gone into some Earth plays after that. Maybe that was the play. I don't know. It could have been, or it could have just been bad. Who knows? I have to imagine, like, getting the Infinity Track stuff set up online was probably going to be good. So he goes into Moye. And then he has Emancipated Rising Dragonite. I thought he didn't have anything, personally. Otherwise, I would have probably tributed to negate that. But it is what it is. Top deck another Therion, which is great. Go into a second Therion. We have to get rid of it, though, to go into Ancient Gear Ballista. So we can negate this card. Here's another fuck up I do. So I add the gearbox, right? So I can actually have a pretty sick turn this turn, right? My big freaking problem is I should have sent Gozen Max and just gone for the kill, right? In my mind, I was thinking, oh, there's no way I can add that. Like, I'm so annoyed. Because in my mind, I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to go into the other card. Like the special summon the dark from the deck. But in actuality, I actually could have. Because I could go into Gear X. So if I got rid of Gozenmatch, okay, pretend Gozenmatch was gone. I could use Gear X's effect to actually add... I could literally use this effect to add the Dark Machina card to my hand. And then that card would have been special summoned, right? And I could have sent the level 7 Machina card to the graveyard. I could have used that effect to send Rune Force to the graveyard, which is stuck in my hand. And then I could have summoned Rune Force and he was like super dead. But instead, I'm an idiot and I didn't send Gozenmatch because for some reason I can't see 2 feet in front of my head. So that's just a fair warning to you guys. Really think out, like you have 300 seconds, really think out the play before you do it, because sometimes you have lines of play that you could have won, that could have won you the game, and now I lose the game because my opponent top decks he has a 1 out of 32 chance to top deck Arch Nemesis Protoss, and he top decks it. 1 out of 32 chance, the only card, right, that can actually out him out of this board. Is the only card that can out him out of this board. There's one other card he could have drew too, which was the Tenyi Spear of Ashuda. But this is like crazy, because now I just do nothing for like I literally can't really do much. And in my mind right now, I'm like, okay, I probably lose the game. Probably a loss. I'm going to set this card face down. He attacks. Kills my monster. And, dude, I swear, I almost was dying laughing because he didn't activate Protoss's effect. So now I'm actually going to be live to actually try and go for a win here. But I have really no other plays outside of just summoning Machina Fortress. So I was kind of screwed. So now I'm able to actually go into Rune Force. But it's already too late. And because he goes into Monk Tenyi. And you know how unlucky this is? I popped the wrong card. Out of a 50-50 chance, I popped the Moye where I should have popped Adahara. Because otherwise he has no way of going into Tenyi. I want to point this out. He would have 0 chance of going into Tenyi. So now I gave him the other out because I picked the wrong card. And bada bing, bada boom. There goes my Gozenmatch. And my Call by the Grave doesn't work. And I know it wouldn't work with Ashuda, but I wanted to get rid of Ashuna to stop it. But doesn't matter. Nothing matters. It's just a complete train wreck after this. Absolute train wreck. If you guys don't know, I just lose to this because once he synchros that off, I just die. I take 1200. Well, let's get to the recap. Let's talk about this. Hello, everybody. Thank you for watching this far, and I appreciate it so much. And if you could subscribe, I would appreciate it even more. Come on. Quit being a bunch of freeloaders. All right, let's get into the actual... Oh, also join our Discord. I don't know why I always forget to say that. Join our Discord. It's almost at 300 members. Shit's popping. It's lit. It's like a party in there. But other than that, let's talk about the deck. So how did the deck perform? Well, it performed pretty well. It performed around like a 60% win rate in Rent Plat. But you have to remember, I literally was playing against tier 1 deck after tier 1 deck after tier 1 deck. There's only a few times where I was playing against things that weren't tier 1. And everyone had, dude, I swear to God, everyone had the perfect hands against me. I barely was able to ever use my back row cards because they all got destroyed. They all had a way of stopping King Regulus, whether it was an Imperm or something, right? And then they had a way of like Harpy's Feather Duster or Lightning Storm to get rid of this. And you know how tilting that is? It's pretty tilting. But yeah, I think it performed pretty well for how early in the season it is and my inexperience with the deck as well. So I think if you play this deck a lot, like, because I only played like 20 matches with it, like if you play like a good like 100 matches with this, right, you really learn the combos and all this other stuff. I think it's a very easy, like, not easy, but like I think it's a very doable climb to Diamond 1. And to Diamond 5, yeah, you can obviously climb to Diamond 5 with this easy. But the Diamond 1 would definitely be a little bit harder just because you're going to be playing against those decks nonstop. Because, like, you've seen, like, the Sword Soul, can even when Gozen Max completely bones it, they still have a lot of outs. And not even a lot of outs. Your opponent will just get lucky. They'll end up always drawing the exact card they need. So, that, plus Math Mech's really annoying to play against. The good thing is about Math Mech is we are running, like, cards that are pretty good against them. Like, Called by the Graves, like, good against their trap card. We're also running Ash Blossom. We have, like, Disruption against them as well. We're also... The Therion's really helpful, too, having the extra negate. So if you open that in your opening hand... Honestly, Therion, I feel like, might be, like, a 3 of. I feel like I have it at 2, because I only have 2. But I feel like you might want to pump it to 3. It's just... It, like, overperformed every time I used it. And it also made your going first boards, like, way better. Even though your going first boards aren't bad, because you're able to lock up, like, Citadel and set all that stuff up. Therion's, like, a beautiful card to have out there, though. Other than that, I mean, the pros and cons of this deck. All right, let's talk about that real quick. The pros. Very easy OTKs, because of Rune Force, right? And Rune Force, and you got these level 10 XZ monsters. So, very easy OTKs. Can play through multiple negates. I would say I think it can play through multiple gates like fairly well. Very versatile. The different strategies that you can go into. You can like try and do a Zeus rush. You can try to go for the OTK with Lieb. You can just try to build up these big Machina monsters and just run them over with those. Pretty decent strategies all around. And I think the cons of the deck is locking yourself into Earth will sometimes stop you from running other plays. Like, because if you lock yourself into Earth, yeah, you can do some cool plays. But again, you're locking yourself also out of going into Phantom Fortress. So that's a play you're not going to be able to have access to anymore, even though Slicer is still pretty strong. Another one that you'll lock yourself is you're going to lock yourself out of U-Class Spear and Rune Force. You're going to lock yourself out of that. So it is kind of annoying. So there's a little anti-synergy there. But for the most part, I feel like this deck does pretty good going first or second. So that is one of the last one for the pros. And the main con I would say is just you're kind of a little reliant on the normal summon, but not really. The normal summon's important, but you can get around. You can still fight around that. But if you get hand trapped like twice, I feel like it's really hard to like build a board after that. But like I said, the main con is semi-reliant on normal summon and anti-synergy with the Earth Lock. So that's the main stuff. Out of a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this deck a solid 7.5. And if anything changes in the meta, maybe it could go up more, maybe it drops more, I don't know. And lastly, on a tier scale, I'm going to say this is definitely a rogue tier deck. It's definitely not a meme tier, though. It's a good deck, but it's just not I don't think it's like quite there yet. I don't know. But like I said, like it's one of those decks that like you have to play. I feel like you have to play a lot to really learn the combos behind it. Because when I was watching my replays back, I was actually seeing like, oh, I actually could have done this and win the game. And I pointed that out in the matches, so you guys could see. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know down in the comments what you want to see next. Next week we should be having cards come out, so I'll be interested to see what ends up coming out. So, all right, goodbye, guys.